Although the sign on the front of the tram says no passengers, that's not quite strictly true, because this tram did carry passengers, even though it was classified as a service vehicle. Well, this is number 948, the famous prison tram. Now, this tram was one only constructed for Sydney and was one of very, very few constructed around the world, particularly for the purposes of conveying prisoners. A lot of systems used their old passenger cars, but only a handful ever had them specially built. So when this was introduced in 1909, it was considered to be quite a breakthrough in prison transportation, and we were hailed as being very innovative in this country. You'll notice on this side of the tram there are no windows, because this is the side where the cells were, and in a moment we're going to get you all to go around the other side of the tram, and we'll have a look at the side which has the features. But 1909, placed in service, ran until 1949, the only one of its kind in this part of the world. Now, on this side of the prison car, of course, we can see the windows. Now, there were 6 windows, 2 for females and 4 for males, which Darren is demonstrating to us, and they were one opposite each cell. Now, down under these windows, you'll notice a grill. Now, a lot of people ask us, you know, what is this for? Well, basically, it's simply to stop you from falling under the tram and making a mess of the wheels. I don't think it was intended to save your life. I think it was intended to stop the tram from getting besplattered by human bits and pieces underneath. Now, in all the 40 years that this tram operated, only one person ever managed to escape from it, and that was Darcy Dugan, who cut his way through the roof in 1947 and escaped from the tram on its trip in from Long Bay Jail to Darlinghurst Courthouse, which was the normal route of this tram. It operated twice a day, once in the morning and once in the afternoon, making a trip to and from Long Bay into Darlinghurst. It's interesting to note that the tramway features of this line were quite unique. Out at the jail at Long Bay, we had 2 large sidings. One went into the female penitentiary and one went into the male. Now, the tram would drive in and the prisoners would be loaded into their appropriate cells, and the automatic doors closed behind them. The tram would then proceed along the La Perouse line until it got to Darlinghurst, where it shunted onto a siding and ran round into the back of Darlinghurst Police Station. The back of the police station was situated in a totally enclosed yard. The tram would drive through the big steel gates into the yard, the gates would be closed and the prisoners unloaded. They'd then proceed via a tunnel under the roadway and under the court complex and come up in the basement of the court in Taylor Square. Now, this way there was no possible chance of anybody escaping, and it also kept them away from the public gaze. So this ran quite successfully for 40 years until the service finally was handed over to motor vehicles in 1949 with the end of petrol rationing. Now, the only changes to this tram in all that time is the sheet of steel which was fitted on the front of the tram. I'll just show you that. That's this sheet of steel here, which was fitted over the open grill work to cover it in for the weather. Outside of that, no changes were made to this tram in its 40 years of active life.